हेलो एवरीवन, माय नेम इज सिमरन और आज मैंने क्लास 11th बिजनेस स्टडीज चैप्टर सेकंड फॉर्म्स ऑफ बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के जो रिमेनिंग एमसीक्यूज थे आउट ऑफ 300, बाकी उसके 100 एमसीक्यूज करवाने वाली हूँ। ठीक है, सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। तो ये 100 एमसीक्यूज होंगे और ये जो है जो पिछले बीएसटी के एमसीक्यूज रहे हैं सेकंड चैप्टर के, उसी के ही आगे रिज्यूम करा हुआ है। ठीक है, what happens if the registrar is not satisfied with the documents submitted for incorporation? The documents must be revised and resubmitted. Which regulatory body must approve the issuance of shares and debentures by a public company? हमें पता है कि जो पब्लिक कंपनी होती है वही इशू शेयर कर सकती है, शेयर्स इशू कर सकती है और डिबेंचर्स इशू कर सकती है। तो अब वो कौन सी बॉडी होती है जो इनको रेगुलेट करती है? वो होती है सेबी। व्हाट इज प्रोस्पेक्टस? अब जो प्रोस्पेक्टस होता है वो पब्लिक कंपनी इशू करती है ताकि वो परचेज कर सके शेयर्स और डिबेंचर्स। ठीक है, जब प्रोस्पेक्टस इशू करते हैं तो उससे लोगों को पता चलता है कि हाँ कंपनी के शेयर्स आने वाले हैं। Who is responsible for receiving application money from public? तो इसका आंसर है बैंकर्स। What role do underwriters play in the capital subscription process? They undertake to buy the shares if not fully subscribed. What is the minimum subscription according to SEBI? 90% of issue amount. What happens if the minimum subscription is not achieved? Application money is refunded. Why is it necessary for a public company to apply to a stock exchange? To list their shares and enable trading. Who are brokers in the context of capital subscription? Persons who facilitates the sale of shares by encouraging the public to apply. What is involved in the allotment of shares? Accepting application, issuing shares to applicants. What is the purpose of issuing allotment letters? Inform applicants of their share allotment. Which of the following is not a step in raising funds from the public? Appointment of a CEO. What must be submitted to the registrar after shares are allotted? The names and address of the shareholders. What happens to the application money if minimum subscription is not achieved? It returns to the applicants. What does SEBI stand for? Securities and Exchange Board of India. Who helps in promoting the company's shares to the public? Brokers. What must be included in the prospectus? Information inviting offers to purchase shares and debentures. What is the role of the stock exchange in the capital subscription process? To list the company's shares for trading. Which document serves as an invitation to the public for purchasing shares and debentures? That is prospectus. What must be done if the minimum subscription is not met? Return the application money within 30 days. Which of the following document is not required for capital subscription? What must a company obtain to commence business? Answer D. Certificate. Annual report. ठीक है, What must a public company obtain to commence business? पब्लिक कंपनी को सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ कमेंसमेंट ऑफ बिजनेस चाहिए होता है। विच डॉक्यूमेंट डिक्लेयर्स दैट 90% ऑफ इशूड अमाउंट हैज बीन सब्सक्राइब्ड? डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ सब्सक्रिप्शन। व्हाट मस्ट डायरेक्टर्स ऑफ अ पब्लिक कंपनी डिक्लेयर रिगार्डिंग अलॉटमेंट ऑफ शेयर्स? That all directors have paid in cash for the shares allotted to them. Which document must be signed by a director to confirm compliance with requirements? Statutory declaration. What does the certificate of commencement of business signify? The company is authorized to start business operations. What percentage of the issued amount must be subscribed before obtaining certificate of commencement of business? 90%. Which declaration is not required for the commencement of business? That the company has appointed auditors. What does a statutory declaration confirm in the context of business commencement? Compliance with the legal requirements for commencement. Who is responsible for signing the statutory declaration for the commencement of business? Director. What happens if a public company does not obtain the certificate of commencement of business? It must hold its business operation until the certificate is obtained. Which of the following is not a required document for obtaining the certificate of commencement of business? Shareholders' agreement. What does the declaration of subscription confirm? The amount of shares subscribed by the public. Which declaration confirms that all directors have paid for their shares? Declaration of cash payment. What is the purpose of filing a statutory declaration for the commencement of business? To confirm the company's compliance with legal requirements for starting business. Which of the following documents is not related to the commencement of business? Memorandum of Association. What does the certificate of commencement of business allow a company to do? Begin business operations. Which of the following is true about the statutory declaration? It confirms the completion of required legal step. But is the role of the declaration that 90% of issued amount has been subscribed? To ensure sufficient capital for business operations. Which document must a public company submit to show that directors have paid for their shares? Declaration of cash payment. Which step is not part of the capital subscription process? Obtaining certificate of commencement of business. What is the primary purpose of the Memorandum of Association? To serve as the principal document for company's registration. Which clause of the Memorandum of Association specifies the name of the company? Name clause. What does the situation clause detail in the Memorandum of Association? The registered office location. Which clause defines the company's objectives and limits its scope of activities? Object clause. What does the liability clause specify in the Memorandum of Association? The amount unpaid on shares held by members. Which clause outlines the maximum capital the company is authorized to raise through shares? Capital clause. The Memorandum of Association is sometimes called a life-giving document because it serves as the primary document for company formation. Which clause would prevent a company from engaging in activities outside the specified objectives? Object clause. The authorized capital mentioned in the capital clause refers to as the maximum capital the company can raise through the issuance of shares. What is the purpose of the name clause? It ensures the company name is unique and not similar to existing names. Which of the following is not included in the Memorandum of Association? Company's annual profit report. What is the significance of the object clause? It limits the company's activities to the specified. If a company wants to change its name, which document would need to be amended? Name clause. The liability clause in the Memorandum of Association helps to limit the financial risk of members to their shares unpaid amount. The situation clause is important because it specifies where the company's registered office will be located. To legally start a company, which document must be submitted to the Registrar of Companies? Memorandum of Association. Which clause restricts a company's activities to what is stated in the Memorandum of Association? Object clause. In which clause would you find the details about the amount of capital the company can raise? Capital clause. Which clause ensures the company does not exceed as authorized? Capital clause. What is the required for a company to be registered under the Companies Act 1956, MOA and other necessary documents? What do the Article of Association primarily govern? Internal management of the company's affairs. Which section of the Articles of Association defines the rights of each class of shareholders? Rights of shareholders clause. What does the procedure for issuing share certificate include? Documentation formalities for issuing certificates. The procedures for forfeiture and reissue of shares is outlined in which section of Article of Association? Share forfeiture reissue clause. Which clause in the Articles of Association deals with the selection and removal of directors? Director selection and removal clause. The procedure for capital readjustment is included in which section of the Articles of Association? Capital readjustment clause. Rules regarding the casting of votes and proxy voting are covered under which section? Voting procedure clause. Which section of the Articles of Association provides guideline for dividend declaration and payment? Dividend declaration and payment clause. The procedure for winding up the company is included in which part of the Article of Association? Winding up clause. What is defined as the clause regarding the amount of share capital in different classes of shares? Structure and amount of the company's share capital. Which clause addresses the rules for issuing share certificate? Share certificate issuance clause. The procedure for forfeiture of shares is intended to allow the company to reclaim shares from defaulting shareholders. Which section of the Articles of Association deals with the procedure for annual general meetings? General meetings clause. The Articles of Association specify the rules for which of the following? Integral governance and management practices. Which clause outlines the rights and responsibilities of shareholders? Shareholders' rights clause. The procedure for dealing with unpaid shares is found in share forfeiture clause. Which section of Article of Association is concerned with how profits are distributed to shareholders? Dividend declaration clause. What does the procedure for capital readjustment entail? Altering the company's share capital structure. The rules regarding forfeiture of shares address procedure for reclaiming shares from shareholders who have defaulted. Which section of Article of Association would include procedures for the dissolution of the company? Winding up clause. What does a prospectus primarily invite from the public? Application to purchase shares or debentures. Which of the following is not included in the main contents of a prospectus? Company's market strategy. Which detail about the company must be included in the prospectus? Number and classes of shares. What does the prospectus specify regarding the directors? Names and addresses. What is the minimum subscription percentage mentioned in the prospectus? Which of the following is included in the prospectus regarding share payments? Amount payable on the application and allotment of each class of share. What does the prospectus state about the subscription list? Time of opening and closing of the subscription list. Who are listed in the prospectus as part of the issue management? Underwriters and merchant bankers. What is the role of the underwriters mentioned in the prospectus? To ensure that shares are subscribed to or to purchase unsold shares. What does the prospectus detail about the qualification shares of directors? The number of shares each director must hold. Which of the following details about the company's management is included in the prospectus? Names and addresses of directors and managing director of manager. What information does the prospectus provide regarding company's financial requirements? Minimum subscription required. What must be included in the prospectus concerning the application and allotment of shares? Amount payable on the application and allotment. Which of the following is not typically a role of merchant bankers listed in the prospectus? Developing company's marketing strategy. What must be declared regarding company subscription list in the prospectus? The time frame for opening and closing of subscription list. Which of the following details about share capital is included in the prospectus? Number and classes of shares. The prospectus does not typically include information about company's employee turnover. What must the prospectus include regarding share allotment? Share allotment procedure, repayment details. Which documents must be issued by the company to raise funds from the public? Prospectus. In addition to raising capital, what else is the prospectus used for? Inviting public offers to purchase shares or debentures. Which form of business organization least expensive to set up? Sole proprietor. For a business requiring significant financial resources, which form of organization is most appropriate? Company. Which business form is preferred for activities requiring personal attention? Sole proprietorship. A person who desires full and exclusive control over their business should choose from which form of organization? Sole proprietorship. Which form of organization is suitable for high risk ventures due to limited liability? Company. What is one key advantage of a sole proprietorship in terms of management? Full control. For a business that can manage their lower finance and involves fewer legal formalities, which form is preferred? Sole proprietorship. Which form of business organization requires extensive legal formalities, high setup costs? Company. What form of business organization typically chosen for large-scale manufacturing enterprises? Company. Which business organization form allows for limited liability to protect against financial loss? Company. Business that does not require substantial capital but aims to operate with minimal complexity should consider which form? Sole proprietorship. Which form of organization might be preferable if the business requires extensive financial resources and planning? Company. For a business that demands a high degree of personal involvement and control, which form is ideal? Sole proprietorship. Which form of business organization is characterized by shared control among partners? Partnership. When is a partnership form of business generally chosen? For projects with minimal financial risk. What form of organization is best suited for a high risk business due to its limited liability feature? Company. Which form of organization is most appropriate for a business needing significant legal compliance and regulatory adherence? Company. For a business that values control and flexibility with fewer legal constraints, which form is preferred? Sole proprietor. Which business form is often selected for its ability to provide substantial funding through public offerings? Company. What is a key characteristic of a partnership in comparison to sole proprietor? Shared management and control. So thank you for this. Thank you for listening, guys.